Hello viewers, you're welcome to Economy Today on TVRC. I am your host for today. My name is Olanion Kudus Oluwatobiloba, and with me here is Dr. Akintunde Somi Vincent. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you.
It's so good to have you with us on set today.
Same here.
Okay, so we're going to be talking about a topic that I believe needs to be addressed. Okay, it's about the current rising trend in transportation. Okay, we'll be addressing the high cost of transportation and its effect on the Nigerian people. So before we proceed, I would like to first ask, Doctor, where exactly do you think we went wrong regarding these issues? Because we've seen series of issues that has to do with transportation and the effect of of fuel on transportation as well. So, sir, please, I would like you to expatiate and let us know where exactly did we get it wrong?
Well, just like a newborn baby, a mother who gave birth to a newborn baby, we experience a modicum of, not just a modicum, an intensified. The level of joy will be so much intensified to a length of, that she may not be able to explain the cause of her joy. You notice the first time that crude oil was first discovered in Nigeria, I remember, so long time ago, in Hulu Ibiri, when crude oil was first discovered in Nigeria, we were all happy. We were all very, we're jumping up for joy. But all of a sudden, when the mantle of leadership, when Nigeria as a country was coined together, we have successive government. We have military head of state to military president to democratic rule, where we have president, vice president, and what have you.
Yes, sir.
So now, if at a point in time in the history of Nigeria, specifically during the period of General Yakubu Gowon,
okay,
we experienced what we called oil boom, where so much of humongous amount of money was accrued to the reserve of the federation. Oil boom, where the amount of money we have in our reserve at that point in time, we don't even know what we want. What we want to do with money anymore. We so much have the money. This country, to the extent that we were competing. We were competing with top countries in the world, like the like of Singapore. They were right behind us. Malaysia, they were virtually all the Asian tigers were just queuing up behind Nigeria. Not to talk of some country like even in Europe,
okay,
at the point in time when Nigeria is talking, the likes of France they will all sit to listen. But all of a sudden, come 2024, where we are talking about Nigeria borrowing humongous of money from countries like China, the same Asian tigers, like Indonesia. We are still currently owing Indonesia. We are owing Japan. We are owing United States of America. This is a country that has actually experienced oil boom before. The problem, back to your question, leadership crisis. Visionless leader, missionless leader, unpatriotic set of people who has governed this country. Who govern this country just because of their pocket alone. Well, the problem we are facing is not a problem of we have the problem of cohesion. Like unifying the country together. We all know that we are all, we are different people from different enclave, ruled by different, like we have the Oyo Empire, we have the Benin Empire, we have the Kanon Borno Empire. We have series of empires that comes together to form Nigeria. There's no doubt about it that our coming together is still very much questionable.
okay.
That our oneness, but I want to ask is, do you want to tell me that our leaders does not know that we are not united in this country? But they are all, leveraging on that disunity to plunder this country into poverty. So like I said, the problem basically, take it to the moon, take it to the star, take it to the Jupiter, take it to Jupiter,
Okay.
take it to Saturn, take it to Uranus. Our problem, leadership crisis. A leader who doesn't say, who does not see himself as a unifier,
Okay.
The leader who does not put Nigerian project has been as his own. We believe that is more or less like a contract. Who says Nigerian product as a business that it must just come to make profit. We have them, they are all gathered, they are all at the top. When leaders are crying that Nigerians should go their separate ways, but some leaders at the top, they see themselves as Nigeria. They see themselves as the true Nigerians because they have all the indices, to benefit, to really, just like the mosquito, we just sip up the blood from the host. The same thing most of the leaders, most successive leaders in Nigeria, they see themselves as a kind of as mosquito that want to really take away substantial amount of blood from. So all of them, they are all there because they've seen a cake somewhere. They want to take away the hycine plus the one that is from the flesh to the bone. They want to just make sure that. So where did we get it wrong, like you ask? It was, I think, we cannot take away the fact that our leaders, they've not really, and the one that really tried to do a kind of, was short-lived. Those who tried to manage the situation properly, they were all short-lived. I remember vividly during the time of General Murtala Muhammad, he did all his possible best to make sure that that Nigeria is put on that all the commoners in Nigeria, they all laughed to the bank or laughed to anywhere they were home. The history still remains that period we all witnessed what we call the true relationship between the those at the top and those that are at the bottom, so to say. And again, during the democratic process, we all witnessed during the period of President Umaru Musa Yar'Adua, when the likes of cement were down, the prices were reduced to the pinnacle. Reduced to considerable price. We all have considerable prices on our commodities, and Nigerians were very much happy. But what happened to him too was also short-lived. So those who really planned to change the narrative, the story, they were all short-lived. But those who stayed very long, those who spent the 8 years, they are the one who has really plunged or really reduced this country to the rubble. They really changed. So like the problem, the number one, where did we get it wrong? Number one, leadership problem.
Okay.
Number two, leadership problem. Number three, leadership problem. So this were where we really,
So we can all see you basically we can see now that we can boil all of our problems down to leadership.
Their leadership. Look, for example, when you look at Singapore, you cannot mention Singapore without talking about Lee Kuan Yew.
Yes.
Talk about Lee Kuan Yew of Singapore. This is a man who has single-handedly transformed that country, put the country on a kind of pedestal that you cannot, really, that you can talk about. You can talk about the tigers in Asia without talking about Singapore. Look at Mahatma Gandhi of India. Look at the kind of foundation he sets for his people. We all have our own leaders too who have really set up the foundation for us. But at the point in time, people talk. Okay, when you want to talk about the success of Obafemi Awolowo, it's okay, fine. Maybe his success could be attributed to those in the western part of the country.
Okay.
Like when he talks about the free education, universal basic education, the free education, not just UB alone, but generally free education. We always talked about Awolowo. But is it to the people of Nigeria? Some people tell you maybe those who benefited were those from the western part of the country. When you travel to the east, you can't talk bad about the likes of Nnamdi Azikiwe. You can't talk about Odumegwu Ojukwu there. You can't talk anything bad about those. And when you travel to the up north, you can't just dump down about Ahmadu Bello. So these are regional heads. So then we still need somebody to unify the country together. If truly we are one Nigeria, we still need a true unifier. The person who is going to change the status quo, who is going to change the narrative. That's what we've been waiting for. But the successive government, after the sages, the one I've just mentioned now, Ahmadu Bello, Obafemi Awolowo, what's it called? Nnamdi Azikwe, Anthony Enauro from the Midwest. I mean, the then Midwest, Benin, and what names like that. After them, we are still looking for unifiers, those who really unify this country together. Look at those from Aguiyi Ironsi to Aguiyi Ironsi, Yakubu Gowon, Murtala Muhammad, Obasanjo came in. We have Shehu Shagari came in. We have Muhammad Buhari came in. I mean, we have after Muhammad Buhari, we have Badamasi Babangida. After Babangida, we have Ernest Shonekan. After Ernest Shonekan, we have Abacha, Sani Abacha. After Abacha, then we have Abdulsalami Abubakar. After Abdulsalami Abubakar, then we have Obasanjo again.
Democracy, yeah.
We start into democratic crew. The Obasanjo, from Obasanjo, then we have Yaradua to Jonathan Goodluck to Buhari again, then Buhari, then we have Tinubu. Yet we can still. I mean, when you look at all those names, you can say we can't really point to anybody as a true unifier. Because they're not really unify this country. And without unifying the country, then it's going to be like, and that's why people are always talking about nepotism.
Yes.
That we have despots, we have people, we have government who are nepotistic in it. That when they arrive at the seat of power, what they think is how to put their people. So Nigeria is no longer the Nigeria. We is no longer our people. It is not their people.
Okay.
So you could see that a whole lot of issues they are all there for us to. So like I said, we still need the person who will think about the Nigerian project will think about the common man in the street, who thinks about what I can do to ameliorate poverty. But do you really have we seen any? Instead, the one that is going to make life better for the common man, they are being stifled, they are being removed. They're like the one we are currently witnessing. The only viable energy that people are enjoying now, it has been taken off from them, and that's why you can see the poverty is becoming. Nigeria keeps wallowing in abject poverty. When you look at the index, the index lately, you look at the poverty index, you look at the position of Nigeria, the poverty hub of, I mean, the country that is one of the poorest country. The one at the bottom is where you find Nigeria. Nigeria yes. And the likes of Afghanistan. So, like I said, when you look at it, it all boils down to leadership crisis. Forget about, when the head is rotting, there's nothing you can do to the body.
Very true. Very true. I couldn't agree with you more.
So, like I said, number 1, leadership crisis. Number 2, leadership crisis. Number 3, leadership crisis.
Thank you so much for that, Doctor. I would also like to ask, considering that you spoke about the big problem boiling down to leadership crisis, so would you really think that NNPC is also a part of Nigeria's problem?
You see, I used to say something that EU pays the piper, dictates the tone. When you look at most of our institutions, they are the products of poor leadership. When you have the right man at the helms of affairs, then that institutions will be strengthened. NNPC is supposed to be saddled with the responsibility of being in charge of our petroleum sector. Yeah. That's why we have directors. It's more or less like a ministry that champions that. And most of the successive ministers of petroleum, that's always been the president. Then there's always a state minister for petroleum. Then the NNPC director. All of them also ought to synergize together to make sure that we enjoy sanity in that sector. But what have we witnessed so far? You see, game blames. At the point in time, we're told that even the NNPC is no longer under the auspices of the government. That it is not limited. It's called NNPCL.
Yes.
Imagine the area that is supposed to, that the government ought to look into and make whatever you are getting from it. From the petroleum, from the crude, from the excess crude oil that you are selling or you are exporting, is it coming into the purse of the institution? Is it not the institution that will render it to the government? But later we're told that even the government is sowing NNPC. So, what is happening even in that sector? is becoming like a mystery. Bamboozling us with grammar here and there, telling us things that we own our crude oil here. Is it not a slap? Is it not a slap on the Nigerian populace that we cannot even refine our own petroleum products? Isn't that a slap? We cannot even refine our petroleum products. And they would say that it's because of poor maintenance, that we have no maintenance culture. Morocco here, they refine. Morocco here. Saudi Arabia, they refine their oil. Russia, they have one of the largest refinery and they are doing well in the global space. But Nigeria, people who learn from us, they are doing well. But we just chose to, it's quite unfortunate. But like you said, NNPC is contributed to the larger larger problem of petroleum sector.
Okay.
And I wouldn't blame anybody who is in charge. I wouldn't blame anybody who is in charge. Like I said, I don't really want to talk, but I know saying that he who pays the piper. Okay, look at our INEC too. Just to digress a little bit. Who employs the INEC chairman? Your guess is as good as mine. They are all under the prerogative of the person or anybody who is leading the country. Who appoints the NNPC director? The prerogative lies on the leadership of the country. So what are we saying? So he who pays the piper dictates the tune. They will definitely be the one to give the direction. So either we are seeing if red is the one we are experiencing, if we are seeing color red from the NNPC, the person who is leading is the one who. If it is color blue, we take it like that. If it is color white, it is from the prerogative of the person who is leading. So it's enough. Let's not start calling names of. But people will tell you that all these guys are technocrats. All these leaders, the one who are leading this. For example, when you see our INEC, our Independent National Electoral Commission, the person who is handling that particular position is a professor. When you look at the current president who is handling the NNPC, is also a man who has got his destiny in the oil and gas industry. But what are we witnessing? They will say they are technocrats, that they ought to, be the one to serve as a kind of advice. They are to advise the president on the way to go. But when the leadership knows more than they do, and then, or perhaps they are not given the right advice, they are not given the right advice. This is all we witness. And currently, and Nigerians really enjoy the dividends of democracy.
Wow.
So the point is, even the NNPC constituted the larger percentage of the problem. Because now Nigerians cannot refine their oil. Currently, the price of the problem of we are facing in this country is as a result of what we are getting from the petroleum industry. Because you can be a farmer, by bringing out a basket of orange from your farm, you are going to make do with transportation. And you can come to the market and you want to start selling at a very abysmal price. You want to consider the amount you spend on the transportation. If ordinarily it's supposed to cost like 100 naira or 50 naira, because of the cost of transportation, you're also going to make profit. You said it's 100 naira. But ordinarily, if the transportation has been taken care of, then it remains. Maybe you just had little, like 10 naira on it, on whether it becomes 16 naira. But now, you are selling one for 150, 120, just because of the cost of transportation.
Yeah.
So these are the problem. These are the part of the problem. All we are currently witnessing, the kind of economic heat that we are witnessing in this country today, is as a result of the decadence, the kind of rot in the petroleum sector. And who are those in charge? The minute you have a ministry, petroleum sector, in which NNPC belongs, they are constant to the problem.
Wow. Thank you so much, Doctor. I really appreciate your contribution. You've really said a lot about this. But then, even irrespective of all that has been said today, it would be wrong for us not to provide a directive on solutions and the way forward. So I would like to ask finally, what do you think can be done to right this wrong? What do you think is the way forward?
The first one is conscientization from the part of the followers.
Okay.
We must all be politically aware. Now, the right time is now. All of us. We must know we must know who to put at the helms of affair.
Okay.
See, character is, I mean, you can't, anybody, character is, you are going to, when you see a man who is capable to be in charge of, so in a very, you are going to see, there will be a kind of indicator to show that the man is capable or not capable.
Okay.
When you see a man who has stolen the public wealth, and the man is vying for position, do you think that man is right to be at the is right to be in charge of any position?
Obviously not.
The man is not. The man is not ready, or the man is not even right to be there. So we have to conscientize ourselves, because we are going to be the one to direct. We are going to be the one to choose our leaders.
Okay.
So even if they are coming with their money, you should know that the future of the younger ones must be prioritized. Because if you get it wrong, it's going to affect those coming behind. Is it not the errors of our fathers that we are currently, that the children are suffering from at the moment? That the youth are now saying, no, enough is enough. Now, there will be, on the October 1st, now people are agitating for another protest, because we are still not getting it right. So number one, I think we have to get it political. We have to be politically aware, to know that this is the right person for us, and this is the wrong person for us. So we need to separate the wheat from the chaff. We have to separate that. So we know this one. Even if you make noise from even to, you see politician that is always showing his wealth on social media, saying I have this kind, I have Lamborghini Coratio, I have what's it called? I have all those phantom jeep, and he's showing luxurious cars, and he's showing it every day. And the man wants to become your president. And you think that man will represent the country, will represent the country well. This is a man who has, where we have the likes of Mujica of in Uruguay. We have the likes of we have so many of them. Those who have really put their country first, not their pocket first. That's number one. Number two, we have to get, our leaders must know that power is transient.
Okay.
You will not remain on that seat forever. But history and posterity will judge everybody. I just mentioned Awolowo today. Most of them enjoyed free education of Obafemi Awolowo, of Chief Obafemi Awolowo. But today they are the one creating problems in the educational industry, that they cannot even place their children. Their children are not even in that unit. They are not even in Nigerian universities.
Very true.
Yeah. So posterity will judge everybody. Power is transient. Don't think you are going to be there forever. But what will history say about you? That's for the leaders. And again, we have to, this patriotic heart, we all have to, there's what we call this Nigerian project. That must also come first. We must see Nigeria as, Nigeria belongs to everybody. Go to anywhere, go to Europe, go to America, go to Australia, go to Antarctica, go to anywhere in the world. Nigeria belongs to. You will see, when you are being asked out there, where are you from? You know that you always talk about your history. We always talk about where you're coming from, which is Nigeria. So we all have to invest in the Nigerian project. That's when we can say, okay. Anyway, like you talk, we're looking at the cost of transportation, and one of a viable way to go is to diversify. We cannot be talking about petroleum product alone. Let's talk about the CNG. Anyway, CNG. It's a gas. We are making do with the gas. Yes. Either LNG or CNG. They are talking about the gas. They are still very much part of petroleum product. But we have to diversify. You cannot focus our energy on PMS alone. So we have to look at CNG. We have to look at. We also have to look at solar. We have some countries that powers on solar. We have to look at other means of transportation. Okay. That will not create issues for us. I'm not saying because we want to look at transportation, I want to go back to coal. Because we still have countries that make but we have to also consider the effect, global warming in the long run. So I won't say we should start using coal. You want to cook your beans, so you want to use charcoal. That's more or less like, and this what I perceive that this government want to send this country to. They want to send this country back to that level. Where people are start using charcoal, use sawdust to cook.
Times. Oh God.
Because when you are making the economy very hard for people, they will definitely resort to when they resort to fire, when people are talking about renewable energy, clean energy.
Clean and green.
Now you want to you are making things difficult for people. So, like I said, we have to go back. We have to diversify, look for, and again, that sector must be taken very serious.
Okay.
Must be taken serious, and it should not be handled by people. Believe that those sectors, they are handled by touts and the hoodlums, that they are the ones that are always in charge of our transportation. This thing. No, we have to. That has to be looked into, remodified.
Okay.
Have a classical parks.
Okay.
Classical parks. Even in some countries, you see people put not in their ties to drive buses. Let's make it fanciful. So I will change we have to see, one of those, doing things differently is to show that you are moving, you are progressing. But the stupidity when you keep doing the same thing every time. Let's have, like I said, fanciful parks, those that are involved, they are classic, like when you incorporate them, you don't actually have to be qualified, but the system will qualify you. Like they used to say, like biblical analogy, that don't worry, it's not for those that are very, don't think that you need to have degrees for before. No. When you come, the system will be the one to eventually change you. So we need to change that. So we need to change the narrative, and if you're able to do all that, before you know it, we are good to go.
Wow. Thank you so much, Doctor. You've really said a lot. You've really said a lot, and I believe that the problem of high cost in transportation and its effects on citizens has really been addressed appropriately and adequately well today. Okay, so Doctor talked about the core problem of this issue, which boils down to leadership crisis here in Nigeria, and if there is supposed to be a turnaround, there will have to be a turnaround as well in the state of the leadership of the country. Okay, so and of course he also provides some solutions which we can always go back to and refresh again. Okay, he talked about the fact that power is transient, and of course these leaders will not be there forever, so they have to understand that there is need for them to be able to fulfill their role for which they were appointed for. He talked about the fact that every Nigerian out there has to be politically aware of the person that they are voting for and appointing into positions of power. He talked about diversification of the Nigerian economy, as well as incorporating fanciful parks, and of course building upon the transportation of Nigeria. And I believe with all this, there can be a change as time goes on. Okay, so there you have it, viewers. Thank you for tuning in to today's session on Economy Today on TVRC. I would like to use this opportunity to say a very big thank you once again to Dr. Akintunde Somi Vincent for honoring our invitation today. Thank you so much, sir. We really appreciate you. So once again, I remain your host, Olaniyan Kudus Oluwatobiloba. Till next time, have a good day.